Hi everyone, Joe Gentile from Sarraf Gentile LLP. So today's video is going to be about why mandamus lawsuits for delayed EADs in particular are so effective. So an EAD is work authorization. So depending on the type of immigration petition that you're ultimately filing, you may file for an EAD on Form I-765 as well. So, probably the most common instance where this is filed is if you have somebody applying to adjust status, they're filing an I-485. You're able to get work authorization while that 485 is pending, and that's what the 765 is filed for. It's not the only, but it's the most common situation. Work authorization, it goes without saying, is absolutely critical, right? There's not much more basic that you need than the ability to support yourself and to support your family. So any delays associated with this, and there are plenty of them, but any delays associated with this really interferes with a person's ability to support themselves and their families and to advance their careers. So these delays are really, really harmful. We file a lot of mandamus lawsuits based on EAD delays, and by and large, they're very successful. Fast adjudications come from lawsuits with these most of the time, and there's probably a number of reasons for this, but I think to me the most noteworthy one, the most significant one, is that according to USCIS, it takes about 12 minutes for them to decide an EAD petition. That's all, 12 minutes. And if you file a lawsuit and sue them, if they decide they want to defend the lawsuit, if they want to push back, it's going to take a lot more than 12 minutes of time from the attorneys representing them, which is the Department of Justice. So that setup leads to this kind of decision they have to make. Do we spend the 12 minutes to decide their case, which we have to do eventually anyway? Or do we put in hours to defend our delay situation? And the answer they come up with is the rational answer. Usually what they decide to do is just decide the case and move on, which is a very rational reaction to that situation. So these cases get delayed a lot. 765 petitions get delayed a lot. The government's overwhelmed. They have much more to do on the immigration front than they have time to do it and resources to do it. So there's going to be delays. But with 765s, or really any immigration petition, I guess, if there's no cost to them to put it off, they'll put it off. So if your 765 is sitting there and it takes them 12 minutes to do, but there's no cost for them to just put it off until whenever they get to it, they're going to do that because they have other things to do. However, when you file a mandamus lawsuit, now there's a cost for them to put it off. There's a cost for them to sit there and do nothing, because if they do that in 60 days' time, an attorney for the government has to answer a complaint, move to dismiss a lawsuit. They have to do something that's going to take hours of time. And so you've created this situation by filing a lawsuit where you've completely changed the dynamic, where now it takes less effort for them to decide your case than to not. And that's a good incentive system to set up. You want to incentivize them to do the right thing, which is decide your case. And the mandamus lawsuit does that. And so I think there's legal reasons why mandamus lawsuits are effective. We can go into a whole host of things, but at a very basic level, if you're trying to run a bureaucracy like USCIS, a lot of it's about incentives and how they kind of steer their resources and steering traffic. And so I think one of the most important reasons why these lawsuits are successful to get people back to work is because you're setting up the right incentive system. You could spend the 12 minutes, decide the case, get the person back to work, or you could spend hours defending. And fortunately, government picks the right choice most of the time. So I hope this was useful. Any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thanks.